Hey, so I'm up in the loft space inside the cabin. I mentioned this on a previous video. Basically, I think the fasteners are backing out because at first I thought maybe the person who was installing it didn't screw it in all the way, but I'm thinking that the opposite happened, that they screwed in too much. If you screw something into wood and you just keep going, it can strip out the inside, so it'll just like keep spinning. Like some of this wood here that the roof is screwed into, it's not thin, but it's not like super duper heavy duty thick kind of. It's kind of a shiplap. It is shiplap actually. Anyways, I noticed there was no pilot hole drilled, and they're not self-tapping screws. I don't even know if you could get self-tapping screws very easily when these roofs went up. Yeah, I'm looking at some of the screws and I can see like splinters towards the end, like over here. None of them seem too loose, at least the ones that I looked at. But if I look at the ones that I already redid, I can see like the holes kind of look big. So I guess the proper way to fix this would be on the screws that I already put in. And where the screws would just keep spinning, what I did was I tried to put it at a different angle so it goes into a different part of the wood. But I feel like a part of the screw is still gonna be in like an empty void where it's not touching wood. So I feel like that may not last, and that hole may actually become bigger as the screw kind of start shifting, and then now I have two holes drilled in there, so if the two holes come together, they'll just make a bigger hole. So all that said, I think like the proper way to do this would be to fix the holes, at least the holes that are not biting on the screws. And the way to do that I know of is to drill a hole where the screw went through and glue a dowel in there. Once the hole is plugged, you can screw into it again, no problem. And I will use a pilot hole to do that. Luckily, like I have easy access. In most of the spots, I have easy access. It kind of gets tougher towards the top, but I have a loft here that I can stand on. It's gonna be kind of hard to get ladders up from the first floor where there is no loft, but at least I can access those holes from the inside. I'm probably gonna put insulation up, like temporary insulation, or like they might not be temporary, but they'll be like, I'm not gonna cover them up this winter. I'm probably just gonna like try to wedge the insulation in between I think they're called, are these rafters? Anyways, between these things. I think those might be rafters. I gotta pull this shit up. Yeah, so eventually, that was like a really long way of saying that I'm gonna eventually fix the holes. Okay, so now I'm down back in the basement, and I just wanted to check up to see what it's make sure nothing weird is going on down here, like leaking or animals or whatever. I think I might buy another dehumidifier. The end over there is pretty dry, but so from where the dehumidifier is now, like right there, the ground is damp, so I want to place another dehumidifier like in that area. If I run too much stuff on on this extension cable, it keeps on tripping. It has a built-in circuit breaker. It's probably like 15 amps or something. That keeps tripping, so I feel like if I run two at the same time, then it's probably gonna trip. So I'm just kind of brainstorming here. So I might have to bring in another extension cable, or I can wire. This is like hardwired. I can't tell if there's any wires in there, but I mean, I could try to do some wiring. And that other dehumidifier, I can actually use it upstairs when I'm not using it down here, because I've been running the air conditioner upstairs all summer. Like it's never off, and that is not great for two reasons. One is I'm spending a lot of electricity. I'm spending over $100 a month on this small place, and the other is like it gets cold here at night. Like it's like 50s, and I'm still running the AC. So like, if you can imagine, I go in the cabin to do like computer work, and when I'm in there, I have to like put on a down jacket, basically, like in the morning especially. So if I run the dehumidifier, then it's not gonna be as cold. My water tank and pump is doing quite well. One of the issues I was having was like controlling the water flow from the spring, where I don't want it to be too much to drain the spring all the way to the spring box all the way to the bottom, because once that happens, then the siphon stops, and then I have to like redo the whole thing. It's kind of a pain, but I want it to be fast enough that it's able to fill this tank at least like while I'm sleeping. So it is doing that. I try to, like around 6 p.m, 7 p.m, 8 p.m, I try to use a lot of water, or like store water. What I mean by that is like my 5-gallon solar shower, I'll fill it up at night, and then I'll fill up like 1-gallon jugs, a few other 1-gallon jugs at night, so like 7 gallons or whatever. And then I'll try to do all my dishes at night. So let's say I'm using like 10 gallons before I go to sleep, right? So overnight, it has like time to refill that 10 gallons. If I use those same 10 gallons during the daytime, then it would have to fill it up during the daytime. Then I don't have as much water that's coming in real time to replace the water I used. I probably said that in a very roundabout way. I only had like one day where by 5 p.m, 6 p.m, I was like, oh no, I don't have any more water. And then I had to make do with like 1 gallon of jug that I had saved for the rest of that day. But yeah, it's not a huge problem, but I'm trying to like time things in a way where I will never run out of water. Also the pump, there used to be some amount of wetness on this piece of wood because there will be leaks from the intake and the intake, inlet and outlet. Most of that has disappeared. There is still some wetness like right underneath the tank here, but it's pressure treated wood and it's not horrible. One thing that's helping that is I'm not keeping this thing on 24/7. Since I replaced the pressurized pipe with this like more heavy duty stuff, I'm not super worried about keeping it on. But in order to minimize the leaking that's happening, I turn it off. It used to be a pain to like come down here like every night to turn it on and off. I brought these home, brought these from New Jersey. I used to use these for turning the lights on and off in my house. So I have like 10 of them where I can, from a remote control, I control the circuit. So it's like very basically on and off. So I put one of those here. You can get it on Amazon or whatever. And I guess I'll put the links so I can make like a few cents on the referrals. But that's what these YouTubers seem to do. So I guess I'll do that. Maybe I won't, I don't know. Okay, so what was I saying? So yeah, that's connected to the pump, and I have a remote control up where the sink is. Every time I finish using the sink, I'll turn the pump off, and when I need it, I'll turn it on. And it's just a little button that you press on the remote control. So it's not, I don't have to go like up and down all the time. So that's like a very simple thing I did using something that I already had, and that has been very useful.